What's up, y'all? I go by the name Lish2x. I'm from the city, so nice they had to name it twice. Okay, New York, New York, you know the vibes. Yeah. The vibes is just this. I feel like we live in a time where, degradation is taking over. We live in a time where, being pea brained is taking over. We live in a time where, it's less talent, more body work, and I just feel like I want to bring back refinement. I believe that I don't have to condemn a dirty glass. I just merely have to sit this clean one next to it. You feel me? So the vibes is femininity. The vibes is I'm ladylike. The vibes is sisterhood doesn't have to be one dimensional. The vibes is I'm not here for the male gaze exclusively. You feel me? Yeah. I think everything's necessary. I think that there's no one way. And I think that that's what we have to like come to terms with. I think like there's been times when people were in my comments saying, "Oh, we need more of this and less of that," and they would name drop certain girls, and I'd be like, "But why do you think that I feel praised by you downing another woman on my post? How dare you?" Because if you think back to it, our parents and our grandparents had their version of WAP from Cardi B. They had their version of that, and I believe that songs like that are necessary. You think that when I'm at home that I'm fully clothed, you think that if I'm with my man that I don't want to like recite certain lyrics? That is necessary. You know what I'm saying? It's just not for everybody. I'm not the type of person that will ever present myself like that. I'm not going to talk to about my bedroom, in a public for another man to get enticed by, because sweetheart, you can't afford this enticement, okay? No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's not for everybody. So I think that, like I always told people, I thought people like Cardi B is a great example for women. People like how she talk about this, that, and the third. Yeah, but look at the real example behind what she does, right? She's an artist that was dating a man who had more money than her, was doing better than her at one time, okay? She elevated with that man. She got married, then had a child. She didn't let nobody make her nobody's baby mama. She's also somebody who, literally became a business owner. She's an entrepreneur. She does all these different things. And so what if she wants to talk about her booty chic from time to time? I mean, she invested great money into having the perfect body that she wants. So if she wants to talk about that, by all means, I love that for her. However, I do believe that there is a level of responsibility when we're in certain spaces, because we do have children, we do have our next generation, we do have, to know when to turn it on and off. And I think that that's where it becomes problematic. You know what I'm saying? I think it becomes problematic when we don't understand the importance of turning it off sometimes. Okay? Baking Soda, Remix, J Hood, yeah, shout out to you. So I actually have a song. The original song, Baking Soda, has 2 verses. And I'm talking about how men, particularly, and women, a lot of times people think that they're better than they are. A lot of times people think that they're dope, but they really baking soda. So even though I'm not talking about drugs in the song, it is a drug reference, okay? When you're dope, that pure cocaina, you know what I'm saying? You get the job done. But a lot of these guys, they talk about wanting to go 50-50. What do you bring to the table on a first date, which is very uncomfortable. A woman doesn't even have a chance to get to know you, and you're talking about what do you bring to the table. How about let me like you and let me see if you're even somebody that I would even want to sit at a table with. So I think that Baking Soda is a song where I'm like, yeah, baking soda niggas always chasing that dope. Baking soda niggas want girls that they can't afford. Because respectfully, guys want the pretty girls. They want the girls that they see dripped out with the long weaves. But those long weaves, I mean, at least for me, when I was in my 40-inch bundle days, that's a stack hairdo, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're dealing with girls that function at a high caliber and you want her, but then you want to sit down on a date and talk about half the bill, or I had this and you had that. What? Women and men cherish things differently. You know what I'm saying? A woman cherishes feeling like you want to protect me, you want to provide for me, I'm your baby in a sense, right? Men cherish a woman that listens to them, that hears them out, that makes them feel validated. You know what I mean? That gives a level of submission. So we value things differently. So by nature, even if I have more money than this man, I want to feel like if he had it, like I would never have anything to worry about. And I feel like these baking soda dudes these days always talking about what a woman gotta have and what a woman gotta do. No, you baking soda, not of my caliber. Goodbye, sir. And then on the flip side, you know, when you go into the verses, I say, I'm gonna pop my collar a bit. Pink lip gloss to pop my lip. These heifers chapstick. Not even chapstick. I mean, so average. All doing the same skit. And it's true. The redundancy is like out of this world. Like, everybody want to do the same two-step when they on stage. You know, half of these girls can't even rap for real. They don't hold their mic up when they perform. The first thing they do is what? Turn around. Like, this ain't a Bobby Valentino concert. Like, baking soda. Sit down. Sit down. We get it. You internet lit. We get it. You shake your bum. We get it. You got a dope dude behind you that can pay for you to stay in rotations, pay the DJs for you, pay everybody for you. We get that. But the reality is you baking soda. So yeah, that's what baking soda is about. Okay. A man that feels like he has to have a whole lot of women, typically insecure, typically flashy, but typically don't got it like that. There's something lacking. You're baking soda, right? A dope man is someone who's confident, someone who's secure, someone who doesn't need to be promiscuous. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that they value themselves as well. A man that understands it is his duty to protect and provide. And also a good leader, because naturally as a woman, we want someone that we can submit to. We want someone that we can depend on. However, you can't be incompetent talking about submission. You can't be incompetent or you can't be lazy and cowardly talking about, you know, I'm the man, I'm the head, but you need me to, you know, pay half the rent just for us to keep the roof over our head. I don't want a roommate, respectfully. I would rather live with my homegirls and catch flights and not feelings than to go 50-50 on all the bills and feel like I'm in like a, you know, contractual agreement in my relationship. I need to be able to rest in my femininity. And I think that a dope man allows a woman to be her feminine self. And I'm not talking about, and men who want to date you for 5, 6, 7 years and talk and call you girlfriends. Like, you almost 30 years old talking about my girlfriend of 5 years. No, sweetheart. If it ain't about a ring, or like, I'm Muslim, so I don't even believe in wearing rings. Like, I like dowry personally. So if you don't got that, I tell women all the time, after a year, if he ain't never mentioned marriage or nothing like that, you're single, sweetheart, keep looking. Is he a boyfriend? Baking soda. If he's a husband, because the thing is that where the game is messed up is that men be talking about holding me down and da da da. I'm not holding no man down. We just dating. You get locked up. The judge broke us up. Like you're a boyfriend. Now, when you put a ring on someone's finger and you are intentional, now women, as a wife, it is your duty to now pick up the slack because you are in a bond. You are in an actual long-standing relationship. You are in a union. You have been yoked together, something holy, something that God himself, you know, won't part unless you want it to part. So yes, it changes. If I'm married to a man, because I believe that I'm going to go to the moon. I see myself within the next few years, in between all the brands that I'm currently developing, I want to be a multi-millionaire. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be able to take my money and invest it into my man and our businesses together for the lineage of our family, but also the last name in which I came to that marriage with. You know what I mean? My last name is Blake, you know, and I owe my father's lineage as well, his legacy as well. So I think that when a man is a husband, now we could talk about the things that a woman does and how she takes care of her man and how she caters to her man and how she, you know what I mean, really moves that man to be successful and to be the best version of himself. But when you're just a boyfriend, sweetheart, understand your position. Like, there was this thing that on that Rap House TV had posted about how she was with this guy for like 3 or 4 years and He asked her to pay half his mortgage because he had lost his job, and he said over the 3 years he spent 20 grand on her. And I'm like, 3 years, 20 grand. That's what, like $500 a month. So what, he took you to dinner twice a month? Well, like, what do you, like, the fact that he even kept a spreadsheet to be able to say, I spent 20 grand on you in 3 years. Sweetheart, I'm sorry. Like, she should have left a long time ago. 20 grand in 3 years is crazy. And he's just a boyfriend. And she felt like, oh, 3 years down the drain. Gone. No, sweetheart, he did you a favor. He didn't waste any more of your time by asking you to pay half of his mortgage. So he has a house. He obviously had himself together. So he was in position to be a husband, but he chose not to be. He chose to keep you there and your position. He never raised you up and gave you the honor and dignity of being his wife. He just milked the cow and sent you back to the farm after he done got the milk. The Ramadan album, Reloaded, the reason why I did it, 2 reasons. Number one, because nobody did it before. First, history maker over here, okay? Second, I decided to do a Ramadan album because I got really frustrated with people trying to put me in a box just because I'm visually Muslim. Just because I choose not to shake my butt cheeks, because I show not to show my cleavage, just because I wear a scarf on my head fabulously. I feel like they always want to say, oh, yeah, she's this Muslim rapper. And that used to eat me alive. And I got tired of even like my publicist who I was paying to help people not say that would say it sometimes. So I was like, all right, let me poke a little fun and, you know what I'm saying, kind of feed into it. So the Ramadan album is like so expected. Oh, it's a Ramadan album. But when you listen to it, you hear it's really a universal message for all. And it talks about, you know, life's journeys, ups and downs, and how you really just got to keep on going, and how you really have to have tunnel vision, and you have to understand your purpose in life and who are you living for. It's kind of like talking through variations. And I also want to tell people, like, you know, just because you see, you know, a somewhat clean glass today, it doesn't necessarily mean that I've always been this way. Anybody who's been following me for like 7 years or beyond know that I started with DJ K Slay. He was the first DJ that ever played my records on the radio. I was in 4 or 5 issues of Straight Stuntin'. I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, people who know me understand, like, Lish the Rockstar was a mother chucking problem. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's important that new followers understand that life is a journey. And as you start to get closer to 30 and you start to become like a real life woman, and you start thinking about what is it that you want your story to be, I feel like that's what the Ramadan album is giving the people. You know, and it doesn't really matter if you're religious, not religious. It's a universal message for all. And I decided to feature, you know, artists from around the United States and beyond. You know, I got Syrian artists on there. I got people from Senegal on there. So, yeah, the Ramadan album. Go get that. Download that. Stream that. Let me help you get grounded real quick. Get Grounded video out now. Grit bow. I hate what's going on in this world right now. Free Congo, free Palestine, all of that good stuff. But shout out to the Jews who's, you know, advocating for what's right too. Because I hate the fact that the media is putting the Ibrahimic religions against each other. They try to make it seem as if, you know, it's a Muslim versus Jewish thing, and it's not that, because, you know, and I don't want to talk about what's going on in certain parts of the world, but I am going to talk about it, because the reality is there's a lot of churches that were places of refuge that have been bombed and flattened with babies in their incubators and all that kind of stuff. So when the media try to make it seem like Islamists are terrorists, it's like, no, the West just needs to give you guys a reason to spend your tax dollars to be warmongers. And it's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wars have been going on since the beginning of time. The moment that there were differences, the moment that there's been different shades of colors, languages, whatever the differences amongst us, you know, man will find a reason to divide so they can conquer and live out whatever their mission is. So that's what's going on in the world, and it's really sad. It's really unfortunate. So yeah, prayers abroad. But right now my focus is prayers aquí.
So who would you say is your top 3 female rappers?
My top 3 female rappers. That's really hard.
I know it's supposed to be.
That is hard. I need like top 10.
Nah, you get 3.
3 of all time, or 3 like out right now?
Oh, what's gonna make it more difficult for you?
I think it needs to be 3 out right now, because if we're gonna say all time, You. Well, if we talk about all time, it's gonna be Evie Eve.
All right, go ahead.
The pitbull in the skirt, because she was very influential in my elementary school days. For me, I know that sounds crazy, right? But hey, it's gonna have to be Eve, Little Kim, and me. Respectfully.
I don't argue with that.
I like a lot of people, but I don't like nobody better than I like me. Feel me?
So what is it like being a female rapper, a female artist? How's
It's
the community?
the community so challenging. So challenging. And despite its challenges, I've been blessed that I have made a few authentic relationships, and there's times where you think that you're making good friends, but then these little heifers really don't like you for real. They're utilizing you, which is fine. I'm fine with being used as long as you don't misuse me. But I think that being a female rapper is really hard because, men put the women against each other, but men have their own objectives as well. It's kind of like a race to who's going to hit you first. It's kind of a race to who's going to get the most access to you. It's a race between the females, who's going to get that top spot, who's going to have their names mentioned. And I'm fine with a little friendly competition, but when you see me, say, what's up, sis? Say peace. Because that's the type of time I be on. But honestly, outside of Steph G, a lot of these girls out here are kind of big, mean girls or weirdos. So it's kind of hard.
So did Diddy do it?
My opinion on Diddy is this. The stuff that Cassidy claims, I don't doubt for a moment that that's not true. Right? But what I also feel like with this guy who all of a sudden came out with, I'm gonna speak on this, and I'm happy you asked that question. We live in a time period where men are in the clubs knocking the girls over to get to whoever the lit nigga is, and it was a time period where guys only wanted to be with the lit dude to get the girls. Favi said recently in his bars, yo, anybody who's around me who hating on me, you crazy. You're supposed to use my name to get money too. Use my name to get the girls. I give you permission to do that. So Diddy is here, and I put Jay-Z and Dr. Dre. Very few people are where Diddy is, okay? Everybody and their mama want to be next to Diddy, like him or not. And this guy probably would have done anything to be in a room with Diddy, to be around Diddy. People walk into Brooklyn for cheesecake for Diddy. You feel me? The reality is a lot of these men these days will do anything that another man tells them to do just to be relevant, just to be around. It ain't even about no money no more. It's about clout. So I believe that people were willing participants, and now they want to play victim because